Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program that is organized by Shri Gyanmanjri Vidyapit. In our today's session, we are going to move further in this lesson, that is chapter friction. We have already discussed few of the points, and in our today's session, we are going to complete this particular chapter's theory from our textbook. Okay, so let's have a look at the part. So welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. In our today's session, first let's have a look at whatever part we have discussed up till now in the lesson friction. So let's have a recap to it. The very first part that we have discussed regarding this particular chapter friction was, try to recall, it was Newton's first law of motion. After doing the Newton's first law of motion, we started the friction chapter. Now, what is Newton's first law of motion? Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest or in uniform motion will remain at rest or in uniform motion unless and until an unbalanced force will act on it. So, unless and until an unbalanced force will act on the object will constantly move, or it will continue its motion. Now, how is that possible? Yes, it's possible due to friction. And the Newton's first law of motion, no word to word. See, more amount of revision is done because you have to remember the things word to word sometimes, and so only I'm making you revise the whole of the content again and again. Uh, After doing the Newton's first law of motion, we discussed about friction. We saw that on a surface a block is kept. On this block, how many amount of forces are acting? We are knowing the amount of forces that are acting on it is. So, this is how we saw that friction always is acting in the opposite direction. If Fa is the applied force, Fb will be what? It is the force, that is the frictional force. After discussing what is friction, we had a discussion regarding how is the friction caused. Friction is caused by two things. Basically, the friction is caused by two things. Which one? Due to interlocking of substances, and the second one was due to adhesive force. Now, what is this interlocking of surfaces? As we know that anything that is appearing smooth is not actually smooth. What does it contain? It contains all the hills and valleys. So, the surface is totally corrugated like this if at all observed under the microscope. But similarly, uh, each and every surface is having like this, where if it is appearing smooth, it doesn't mean it is smooth, and this is how the friction is coming into existence. These hills and valleys are responsible for all the problems, that is friction. Ultimately it is a boon somewhere, and somewhere it is a problem. Then comes the next part, that is due to adhesive force. Now, what is adhesive force? We already know that these hills and valleys, they have some of the substances already attached with them. Which are those substances which are attached to them? The substances that are attached to them are the atoms and molecules that are present on the surface, which are ultimately responsible for the electrostatic force of attraction, which is responsible for increasing the friction or reducing the motion, which is generating friction. Then we discussed about the factors which are affecting friction. Which are the factors which are affecting friction? The factors that are affecting friction are these. The very first one is weight of the object. More the weight, more will be the friction. Less the weight, less will be the friction. Next thing that we discussed was the surface. Smoother the surface, less the friction. Rough the surface, more the friction. Okay. Then what we discussed was the types of friction. Now what are the types of friction? The types of friction are this: the sliding friction, before that we had static friction and rolling friction. The point which we missed out was this: friction, a self-adjusting force. Friction will try to adjust itself. It will try to compensate with the values that are given. Why? As in try to recall, in order to move that 5 Newton block, right now only in our last lecture only we discussed that in order to move the 5 Newton block we are just हम उसे खींचते हैं तो 5 न्यूटन तक फ्रिक्शन भी खुद ब खुद बढ़ता जाता है एज इन हाउ यू आर अप्लाइंग more and more force will be coming from the friction till the maximum point which it can fetch. Then next is the three types of friction, which is static friction, sliding friction and rolling friction. Now what is the static friction, sliding friction and rolling friction? Static friction is the limiting friction, that is the minimum amount of force which is needed to just move the object, and this is very important point, that is sliding friction is more than rolling friction અને આ બધા કરતા બી વધારે હોય static friction. This one. Okay, F stands for યાદ રાખવાનું ખાસ અને આની ઉપરથી ઘણા બધા હાર્ડ like application based questions can come. Static friction is maximum, sliding is bit less than it, and rolling is yet lesser. After discussing about the types of friction, we had a look on the advantages and disadvantages and the ways to reduce the friction. The very first thing was advantages. In that, in our last lecture, we have discussed that the nails are getting held on any wall. Why? Just because of friction. After that, the brake linings are made, the brakes are applied because of the friction between the brake lining and the rim of the wheel. We are able to walk just because of the friction between the soles of our feet and uh, the road. We are able to ride. Why? All because of friction. So these are the uses of friction. After discussing about the uses of friction, let us discuss about the next particular part, which is the disadvantages of friction. What were the disadvantages of friction now? The disadvantages of friction were there is like wear and tear is caused in the machine parts, and it is ultimately reducing the efficiency of the machine because there is lots of loss of energy. So the two important parameters where friction is ultimately a problem is this. Okay, what is the problem that is coming due to friction? Friction is causing wear and tear, and the next thing is because of friction there is loss of energy, and ultimately it is reducing the efficiency. After that, what we discussed was this: how can we increase friction? Now, how can the friction be increased? Yes, it can be increased. Uh, you we discussed that the soles of the shoes or the vehicles tires, they are made corrugated. Now, why it is made corrugated? It is made corrugated or they are made rough. Why? Just to increase the friction. The the person who are playing kabaddi, wrestlers, those players, they generally rub their hand with the soil. Why? To increase the grip between their hand and the opponent's body. Next is the brake lining, or the the brake lining is made rough. Why? Just to increase the friction between the rim of the wheel and the brake lining, and that's how the friction can be increased. So this is a quick recap on whatever part we have done up till now. In our next particular session, that is in our today's session, we are going to discuss about one of the very important parameter, that is how can we reduce the friction. But before we discuss that point, just go through this part, just read it and note it down. Now, coming to the today's content, that is how can we reduce the friction. The topic that we are going to do right now is how can you reduce friction. सबसे पहले तो जो भी प्रॉब्लम है उस प्रॉब्लम है किसकी वजह से, तो जो कॉज है उसके ऊपर अगर हम फोकस करें और वो कॉजेस को हम हटाने की कोशिश करें तो वी कैन रिड्यूस फ्रिक्शन. सो द बेसिक टू कॉज ऑफ फ्रिक्शन आर दिस. The basic two causes of friction are this: due to interlocking and due to adhesive force. Which is hills and valleys. Second one is due to adhesive force. Okay? अगर हम ये दो पॉइंट्स के ऊपर फोकस करें और यही दो पॉइंट्स को अगर हम लोग रिड्यूस करने की कोशिश करें देन अल्टीमेटली वी विल बी एबल टू रिड्यूस फ्रिक्शन. द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज पॉलिश द सरफेस. If we polish the surface, then what will happen? On polishing the surface, the hills and valleys that will get reduced. So the polishing will remove the hills and valleys which are present on the surface, and ultimately it will reduce the friction. Polishing the surface will reduce the hills and valleys, and that will ultimately reduce friction. So the one of the very important thing, and it is the polishing of the surface will reduce the hills and valleys, and ultimately it is going to reduce the friction. The second important parameter is by applying the grease or oil on the surface. Now what happens when you are applying the grease or oil on the surface? The second important thing is because of this adhesive force, the hills and the electrostatic force that is occurring, what will happen? Both of them will try to combine with each other, and ultimately there is a problem. So that can be reduced by not allowing those two surfaces to come in contact. How can that happen now? Yes, it's possible. Basically, if you observe anything under microscope, it is like this. This is one of the surface, and this is another surface. Now, there is a possibility that these two may join, and ultimately that can create a friction. Both of them interlocked, both of them will combine with each other, and that will again increase the friction. So how can that be reduced? The layer of grease and oil can be applied between them. This layer of grease and oil between them will reduce the chances of them getting attracted by each other. At any of the big points, it will not get attracted, it will become little bit smooth. because the oil layer will come over here. The oil layer will come over here, and this oil layer will not allow this two particular uh, substances to combine with each other and to increase the friction. So when we are applying the grease or oil, it will separate two surfaces. And ultimately the friction will be reduced. So these are the two first points which are based on just cause of the friction. Once again, just by polishing the surface, we can reduce the friction. Next is by applying grease or oil on its surface. We can reduce it. Why? Because that grease or oil layer will be formed, and that layer will ultimately uh, see that this doesn't happen, and anything can just be kept under control. That is, the friction can be reduced. So before we move on the next particular part, the next third part, note down this part quickly, then we'll move on the next portion. Quickly note it, then we'll move further. I hope you have noted. The next particular part is in the ways to reduce friction only. The way is by using powder, graphite or talcum powder. The next way is by sprinkling a soft, slippery fine powder on the surface will reduce friction. When you're playing carom board, you add little bit of talcum powder. Why? Just to make it smooth and to see that uh, the movement of that the movement of જે small goti તમે છે ને કહો, all those things, the movement becomes quick. So that is again one of the way by which the friction can be reduced. So small quantity of powder when it is applied on the wooden surfaces, the friction gets reduced. And hence, because of that only, talcum powder is applied before playing carom. On carom board before playing. In the same way, graphite powder is used in the machines. In the machines, graphite powder is used to reduce friction. Okay, that is again an important point. Next is by using the wheels or ball bearings or roller bearings. We have already studied that the least type of frictional force is the rolling frictional force. So if you are rolling, then ultimately the frictional force that will be acting will be less. So just make the surface roll over the other. How can you make the surface roll over the other? Just by using wheels, ball bearings or roller bearings. The least frictional force is rolling frictional force. So if one surface is made to roll over the other, frictional force acting would be least. Note down this quickly. Then we'll discuss the last part. Now, the next particular part. The next is this, that is by streamlining the body of the object. Now, what is this streamlining? And it's not a new word for you, but then also I'll explain you the meaning of this word. What is the meaning of the word streamlined body? Whether air or water, in them, any object is coming in their presence, then ultimately they are creating some frictional. Just imagine this is the air, then in the air, in order to these are the means this is the atmospheric place. Over here, if I am keeping an object which is like this, and in like I am having a paper, and that paper, a small paper only, if that paper you are trying to throw it, you will see that it is not traveling much, but उसकी जगह अगर आप उसी पेपर का प्लेन बना के आप उड़ाओ, तो you will see that it will go more. Okay, प्लेन है वो ज़्यादा जाएगा. Why? Because it is a streamlined object. Any particular object, if it is given the shape like in the beginning it is bit less and afterwards वो बड़ा हो जाए. आप जब प्लेन बनाते हो तब आप देखते हो कि उसकी यहाँ पे मतलब जो नोक है यहाँ पे this much portion is very much less. Why? Because from here, see, I'll explain you. Most of the time what is seen is like this. The beginning part, when from the air is coming from here, over here it has to cut up only little bit less portion. Okay, यहाँ पे उसे ज़्यादा पोर्शन कवर अप करना पड़ता है. अगर इसी की जगह आप एक नॉर्मल पेपर लें तो वो पेपर है वो ज़्यादा दूर तक नहीं जाएगा, बट प्लेन जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसकी ऐसी शेप है. ये वेव्स को रोकने के लिए धीरे धीरे रोका जाता है. वेव्स को एक साथ नहीं रोका जा सकता है, या एक साथ उस वेव को अपोज नहीं किया जा सकता है. इसलिए बिगनिंग में थोड़ा उसने अपोज किया, बाद में ज़्यादा, बाद में ज़्यादा, एंड अल्टीमेटली ज़्यादा. So this is how the shape of the object is very important. Basically, properly shaped bodies, they experience less frictional force. Properly shaped bodies means what? It means streamlined objects. And so only aeroplane, rockets, fish, all these are having streamlined bodies. And God has already created two of its uh, creatures like that, that is fish and birds. But God has only given them, they have streamlined bodies. We have not created them. हम तो जो बनाते हैं वो हम उनको देख के बना रहे हैं. So this is how by streamlining the friction can be reduced. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है? Just बिगनिंग वाला पोर्शन है वो फिश का कैसे होता है, पहले यहाँ से व्हेन यू आर ड्राइंग द फिश, तब आपने ऐसे आप ऐसे ही ड्रॉ करते हैं ना नॉर्मल, आपको एक फिश ड्रॉ करनी हो तो ये यहाँ बिगनिंग में कम, बाद में उसका सरफेस बढ़ जाता है, तो बिगनिंग में कम, वाई, इन ऑर्डर टू सी दैट इट इज ऑपोजिंग द लेस अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर और एयर, ओके, तो उनका फ्रिक्शन वो कम अपोज करेंगे. नोट डाउन दिस, देन विल मूव फर्दर. The next particular topic is friction due to fluids. So that is the next particular topic, that is friction due to fluids. The friction that is caused by fluid, that is the air or the gas, is called as drag. Okay, and friction is existing everywhere, that means in the liquid, in the gases, as well as in the solids. We, as you saw that in the last particular chapter, that pressure everywhere it is there in the liquids, in the gases, in the solids. In the same way, friction is also everywhere in the solids, in the liquids, and in the gases. Now remember that frictional force in the solids, frictional force between two solid, it is greater than the solid and the liquid, and hence greater than the solid and the gases. This is a very important parameter. That is, the frictional force that is getting exerted between two solids is more than the frictional force that is getting exerted between a solid and the liquid surface, and the solid and the, yet it is yet more than the solid and the surface. Okay, the next important parameter is on which things the force of friction depends. Force of friction depends first of all the speed of the object with respect to fluid. It depends on the following factors. આમાંથી સૌથી પહેલા એક તો તમે જોઈએ જ લીધું છે, that is the shape of the object, that means the streamlining. If it is a streamlined shape, streamlined means what? Ultimately, it will oppose all the resistance that is created by air or water, and that particular shape is called as streamlined shape. So, force of friction in any fluid, it will depend on the shape. જો એનો પ્રોપર શેપ હોય તો ફોર્સ ઓફ ફ્રિક્શન ઓછું લાગે અને પ્રોપર શેપ ના હોય તો ફોર્સ ઓફ ફ્રિક્શન વધારે લાગે. નેક્સ્ટ ઇઝ સ્પીડ ઓફ ધેટ ઓબ્જેક્ટ વિથ રિસ્પેક્ટ ટુ ધ ફ્લુઇડ. In the beginning તમે કોઈ બી વસ્તુમાં you are knowing that in the beginning less amount of more amount of force is first exerted and then less એટલે જ્યારે કોઈ બી not only during cycling but everywhere when you are doing cycling ultimately you are opposing somewhere the resistance of the air, you are driving, okay, you are giving the accelerator everywhere. Just think about all these parameters. Air is also creating some kind of resistance on us also, but we have to overcome all these things. The speed of the object with respect to the fluid is also responsible for the force of friction. More the speed, lesser the friction will act. But in the beginning it will, you have to give uh, more amount of friction is there. So first we need to overcome it and then it will go on smoothly. The next one is the nature of the fluid. That means if you take the normal water and the water with the soap, what will happen? On the soapy water you will slip quickly, but on the normal water you will not slip. Why? Because the soapy water is having different nature. It is very much slippery. So the nature of the fluid is also again playing a very important role in the force of friction. So these are the three parameters on which the force of friction is depending. Once again, which are the three parameters on which force of friction is depending? Very first one is the shape of the object, speed of the object with respect to the fluid, and nature of the fluid. Note it down quickly. So I hope you have noted it. Then the last particular part, that is the friction, is how ultimately helpful to us and everywhere else. We are knowing that meteors, when they come on the surface of the earth, they start burning due to friction. Yes, it is correct. Because of the force of the friction, the meteors will start burning. Uh, Air is having its own frictional force. So meteors, when they are entering from the from somewhere outside the Earth's atmosphere, when they are coming inside the air, they will start burning. Okay, if they will not burn, then what will happen? That those big chunks they'll fall somewhere on the earth, and they may create damage to those people who are residing at that particular place. उनको पता थोड़ी चलेगा कि कहाँ गिरना है. They will ultimately fall. Then that can fall even on a person. So uh, that kind of incidences are all like almost nil, but yet it is there. They start burning due to friction, and that is again how we are safe. If they won't burn, then what will happen? They'll directly fall on the earth. And in order to prevent this is the normal thing that is happening, that anything when it is entering into the atmosphere, then because of the friction is acting on them, there is always a problem, and so only the spaceships that they are sending in the somewhere in the universe outside the earth's atmosphere, what is happening over there, when they are coming back, ultimately they are going to face the same amount of frictional force, and so only they are provided with particular heat shields. Okay, so this with this the chapter ends over here. I hope you have understood whole of the lesson very properly, and that's all for the content of the day. Thank you so much, my dear students, for listening to me. The last part was about the meteors and about how the spaceships are provided with the shield. So that's all. Thank you so much. Have a very good day. Bye bye.